Alright guys, I haven't made a video in a while, and I got my Lee Loadmaster set up, doing some 9mm here, 9mm. And the big problem with this system is the priming system. Okay, I have made some modifications to this Lee Loadmaster. I'll make this quick. You obviously see this setup right here. Great upgrade, because you get rid of that stupid string that sits from here to here, gets in the way, and that was literally cost me about $3 to do. All I did was drill a hole with a little eyelid and a little spring kit I bought from Home Depot for like $5, and it came with a ton of springs. Other upgrades I've done, basically I went ahead and removed the shell plate here. Basically what I did is I got sandpaper, and mine is like it's like a adhesive. So basically, I went ahead and removed the shell plate, got some fine sandpaper with some metal polish, stuck it on the bottom, and then all I did was kept on cycling this thing where it would spin. So basically it polished the little grooves that it sits on, so it's really smooth. As well as what I've done here is, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but sorry, I'm doing this with my iPhone. See if I can remove that there. Alright, so basically what I've done is I went ahead and removed this, and I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up. I don't think it's going to pick up. But basically, in there, I went ahead and did what Mike Reloading's bench said to do, as far as getting some wire and sticking it in there to center up the priming tool there, to get the primer to set right, as far as centering the pin that pushes the primer into the pocket, if that makes any sense. So basically, the primers don't get crushed, and I've since done that, and it's working flawlessly. What other upgrades did I do? Oh yeah, I got this little flashlight here. I went ahead and drilled a hole. Through, so now it looks like a, what is that, like a UFO or something? But that light, I drilled a hole through there, so light will now shine down on my shell plate, so I can look inside there and verify there's powder in there. So it's a simple little upgrade. What I'm gonna do is, hey Karen, hey, come here real quick. I'm gonna get my wife to kind of hold this iPhone while I make a couple rounds, and you guys can see the Lee Loadmaster in action. Here, just hold this like this and just kind of film right here. Alright, so this one's got the powder in it. Can you see it on there pretty good? Mm-hmm. Alright. And I really don't have this thing set up on a great table. I literally just got this press not too long ago, so it's really not mounted really sturdy like. But again, I mean, the priming on this is, I'm not having the issues that a lot of people complain about. I literally pull the handle and a bullet falls every single time. Now, whenever I got my press, was I having primer issues? Yes, I was. I did have to tinker with it and get it dialed in, but I maybe have a little bit of an advantage over some, because I am mechanically inclined, and I like to tinker. And I messed with the press, got it dialed in, and guys, I can't justify the price of a Dylan as of right now, because literally this thing is working really good. I could probably pump out almost 200 rounds an hour if I really want to get going. And again, what I love about this press is every single time I pull the handle, and just to verify, the primers, can you see the primer in there? Mm-hmm. See the primer? Not crushed. And that's literally every single one, guys. I mean, I have not had any problems with my primers at all here after I did my upgrades, or my polishing and whatnot. But one thing I did fail to mention is on my primer feeder. I actually removed it, disassembled it, and you can actually, there's like a line like where the mold was inside where the primer slides down. If this is, you see my finger? Mm-hmm. If this is where the primer slides down here, okay, and then it goes this way to go to the where the primer slider is, there's basically like a little line where the mold was when the plastic was, and that you could actually feel it with your finger. I actually got some like 400 grit or 500 grit sandpaper. If you have something even finer, do that. And I sanded that groove out, so there's no like lip where the primer could get hung up on. And after I did that, it has been completely awesome. And then I also, one other thing, I did put my, I'm sorry guys, this is the last thing I did. I went ahead and did put a little washer on the primer system up there just to raise the arm up just a little bit. I would recommend going to Mike's reloadingbench.com because I did do the upgrades, as he mentioned, the ones I felt like I could do. You can get the wire, the appropriate wire. I need to put new batteries in that thing. I just found that flashlight, but I just need new batteries in there. But go to Mike's Reloading Bench, and if you're having trouble finding the appropriate thickness of wire, I was told by the guy at Home Depot that it's actually the doorbell wire. If that makes any sense, if you're wiring up a doorbell in your house, that's actually the wire that I purchased, and it's the actually right thickness of gauge or millimeters to put in that little groove. So all you do is it's copper wire, you put it in that groove, you cut it maybe like a little section like this, okay, and then you push it in there the best you can. I basically just got super glue and I used Gorilla Glue to hold it in. And I wish I had the wire down here to show you guys. Oh, here it is right here. This is the wire I used, and this is it. I basically just cut this. This is ghetto. I'm using my kids. See if I can strip this. Okay, and I'm going to try to do this with this. Obviously, you're going to want to cut this, okay, and get it the right size, and then you literally put this, when you cut it, put it in the shell plate, and it's going to be straight. But this thing bends so easy. I'm just going to wrap it around this. Does that make sense? Okay, but actually that wire will actually be here, and what it does is it pushes the casing out far enough where the primer primer setting tool or whatever it is, it actually lines up with the casing better versus being off of the hole. So if this is the primer push thing going up, instead of it lining up like this, okay, and it crushing primers, what it's actually going to do is when you put that little spacer there, it actually lines up like this, if that makes sense. And you will actually get a lot more succession or a successful insertion of the primer without crushing them or turning them sideways. So you can get a and I'm just going to do these last rounds. And I was considering buying the bullet thing, but I actually like looking inside of the casing to make sure. All right, let's check these out. Good primer, 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 good primer. I mean, I don't see any, and one way to tell to make this quick, go ahead and dump this out. You see no gunpowder. Okay, that's usually a dead giveaway that you didn't have a good primer in there. Bad insertion or something like that. So no powder. That can kind of verify to you guys that it's working legit. As far as me, how happy I am with the Loadmaster, do I regret purchasing it? Absolutely not. For me, it has been awesome. Now am I saying that it's completely bulletproof and I don't ever have to tinker with it? Yeah, I'm going to have to tinker with it a little bit. For me, that's fine. I like to tinker with stuff. So if you don't mind messing with things and you want to be able to pump out rounds at a decent rate, every single time I pull the handle, this thing pumps out a round, which I love. If you have any questions for me, leave me a comment. And again, thanks for watching, and I will have fun shooting this one later at the range. Just this one, not so much these. This one, for some reason, this one I have a connection with. Just kidding. But alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'm out. Bye.